You know that feeling when your family pushes you towards something you know isn't right for you? Yeah, I lived that for over a decade. My name is Emily, and if you had told me years ago that my biggest enemy would be my own sister, I wouldn't have believed you. But here I am, sitting with my baby in my arms, looking back at a war I never asked for. A war my sister waged in the name of family. It all started when I was 16. I had just started dating my brother's best friend, Jake. He was charming, easy to talk to, and my entire family adored him. My brother, Chris, was thrilled. He got to have his best friend as part of the family. My parents welcomed him like a second son. And my sister, Lisa? Well, Lisa thought it was a fairy tale. Jake and I dated through high school, and by the time we graduated, he proposed. I was only 18, and while I cared for him, I wasn't ready for marriage. I said no. That's when everything changed. Jake didn't take it well, but he accepted it. My family, not so much. Suddenly, I was being bombarded with advice, or really, pressure. You don't have to get married right away. Maybe a long engagement? You'll change your mind, just give it time. You two are perfect together. Chris was upset, but he got over it eventually. Lisa never did. She was convinced that Jake was the one for me. And she wasn't just passively hoping we'd get back together. No, she went all in. She set me up on fake blind dates where Jake would mysteriously show up. She invited him to every family gathering, birthdays, holidays, even casual dinners. She made me share rooms with him during vacations, forcing us into close proximity. And worst of all, she started dating his brother. It was like she was trying to fuse our lives together, whether I wanted it or not. For years, I gritted my teeth and kept the peace. I told myself she'd grow out of it, that she'd let it go. I was wrong, because when I finally met the love of my life, Lisa lost her mind. I met Daniel when I was 22, during a semester abroad. He wasn't from my university, but he was from the same country, and we just clicked. It was the kind of love that felt easy, effortless, no pressure, no expectations, just two people who fit. We got engaged after a year. My father, my brother, and most of my extended family were happy for me. Everyone except Lisa. She kept insisting I was in the honeymoon phase and that I'd realize I still loved Jake. She even tried to set Jake up with one of my friends to make me jealous. It was pathetic. But the worst part? My mother didn't. Stop her. My mom never outright said she wanted me with Jake, but she never stopped Lisa's behavior either. She was always making excuses. Lisa just wants the best for you. She's just trying to help. She means well. No, she didn't. Lisa tried everything to get me to change my mind, but nothing could have prepared me for what she pulled at her own wedding. Lisa made me her maid of honor. I should have declined, but I was trying to be the bigger person. She planned everything, including who I would be spending time with. The entire bridal party included Jake, not just as a groomsman, but as my partner, in every wedding activity. At the reception, it got worse. Lisa had actually set up a date for my husband. A woman I had never met before came up to Daniel, trying to flirt with him, acting like they were a couple. Lisa had paired my husband with someone else as if he wasn't my fiancé. When I confronted her, she just shrugged. It's fine. You're not married yet. You can still explore. I left, and the next day I told my parents and my brother that I was done. I wouldn't force them to choose, but if they ever tried to push Lisa back into my life, I would cut them off, too. Chris backed me completely. My father understood. My mother, she was upset. She tried to talk me into compromising. She stopped after 2 failed attempts. I went no contact with Lisa, and for 6 years I didn't speak a single word to her. A few weeks ago, my mother invited me over for tea. I should have known better. The first thing I saw when I arrived, Lisa's car. The second thing, my ex and his mother. They had staged an intervention for me. My ex tried to explain how romantic his past behavior was. His mother claimed I was hurting Lisa, who only wanted the best for me. My mother read a letter about how much she wanted her daughters to be close again. I didn't say a word. I just texted my father, my brother, and my husband Chris arrived furious. He grabbed my things and stormed out with me. My father and Daniel arrived minutes later. That was the last straw. I sent an email to everyone involved, giving them my lawyer's contact information. Any further attempts would result in legal action. My father was livid. He moved out of my parents' house that night. He filed for divorce the next day. Lisa lost her mind, and when I announced I was pregnant with a baby girl, she spiraled. She started telling people I was keeping the family apart. She planted a tracker on my dog to find me, and worst of all, Jake started spreading rumors that my baby was his. Jake lost his job after Daniel exposed him to his employer. My father finalized his divorce. He moved in with us, and for the first time in years, he was happy. Lisa? She lost everything. My father cut off all financial support. When her own son started repeating lies about my baby, saying she was an affair baby, my father stopped helping her at all. My mother still insists she knows best. She sent me a letter claiming she'd go for grandparents' rights, but my lawyer shut that down fast. We moved. We changed our numbers. And now, we're free. Lisa and my mother are nothing but ghosts to me now. Sometimes I cry when I think about the mother I thought I had, the one I wanted to share my child's milestones with. But I remind myself, a real mother would never do what she did. And now, I have my father, my husband, my child, and the family we've chosen. We are safe, we are loved, and that's all I need. If you haven't already, subscribe for more shocking real-life stories. Have you ever had a family member obsessed with your past? Tell me in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.